Hi everyone, this is Stefan with 1042 Productions. Today I want to go over a desk build that you can do for under $300 with basic tools. This isn't meant to be a comprehensive look at one type of desk, but more of an overview of some techniques you can use to design your own. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. I don't normally post about woodworking, but since this is a build I did for an editing setup, I figured I'd share it. This build was done with basic 2x6 and 2x3 lumber that you can pick up at any hardware store. I started off by measuring and cutting all my boards to length to make sure that I had consistent cuts. To join the 2x6s together to make the shelves in the desktop, I used a pocket hole jig. Next, I glued each portion and joined them together with pocket screws. Next, I needed to cut spaces for my 2x3 legs. I initially started doing this with a jigsaw, but found out quickly that it was much easier to use a circular saw to make the cuts. For the braces in the middle of the desk, I cut the sections out with a circular saw, then finished them off with a chisel. Since I like to have a clean, organized desktop, I installed a flush-mounted power outlet. To do this, all I had to do was use a 3 1/4 inch hole saw to cut the hole for the outlet. Then the outlet simply drops into place and gives me access to a USB and a 110 volt power source. Since I'm always charging drone and camera batteries, this gives me access and keeps me from cluttering my kitchen countertops before each shoot. After getting all of the cutting done, I cleaned everything up by running it over with 80 grit sandpaper. If you want a smoother finish, you can always use less coarse sandpaper, but for my purpose, 80 grit was good enough. Finishing the top was the fun part. This was the first time I've done a Shou Sugi Ban finish. For this, all you need is some kind of propane torch. I had one that hooked up to a barbecue tank and put out plenty of heat, and it made the process pretty fast. You can make the finish really dark, but I opted to leave a little bit of the natural color behind. Finally, after staining the legs, it was time for assembly. Again, I used pocket hole screws for my joints. I pre-drilled everything before finally moving it into the house and putting it together. One of the final touches I added was a card reader mounted under the desk for easy access. Since the iMac has a rear-mounted card reader, this makes it easy to dump all of my footage for editing after a shoot. Again, this wasn't meant to be a complete how-to on how to build a desk. There are a lot of awesome videos out on YouTube that explain the process for each one of these in a lot more detail. Overall, this desk was designed to fit along a wall and have minimal footprint. It gives me a spot to edit and keep all of my camera gear when I'm not using it. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.